Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome back. I've put together a quick video here to kind of walk you guys through the entire inspection process, show off the database. I also wanted to make life a little bit easier for you, so I've put together a little segment on how to create a quick launch button on your phone to get to the inspection form really quickly. I also want to show off like the email receipts and a couple of other things. So if you have any questions, suggestions, whatever else, don't hesitate to send me an email. But as of today, this should be ready to go and ready for you guys to start putting your inspections in. So let's jump right into getting a quick launch button onto your phone, just to make it a little bit easier for you every time you're going to do an inspection. Okay, for today's purposes, I'm going to assume that you all have iPhones. I know that some of you may have Android devices, and I just don't have an Android device in front of me to demo, but you can do the exact same thing on an Android phone. If you can't figure it out, Google it or send me an email and I'll walk you through the process. But for those of you that have Apple devices, again, we're going to create think of it as an app, but all it really is a quick launch button. And this is a cool trick that you can really use with any kind of a web resource. So it doesn't work inside of Google Chrome. Okay, so the first thing is you have to use Safari as of right now. Who knows? They're going to update iOS, I think probably tomorrow, and we'll see if it comes out. But for the time being, you got to use Safari. So you're going to go ahead and open up Safari. And you can see I'm already on it. But just as a quick reference, what you're going to type in is bit.ly slash, and this is case sensitive, CA, capital CA for Central Alberta, and then inspections all lowercase. So that's bit.ly slash CA inspections. So go ahead and hit go, and now we're into the inspection form. So what we want to be able to do is, rather than you have to type that in each time, we're just going to create a button on your home screen that's going to automatically launch this every time for you. So we're going to go to the very bottom, that middle button there, and we're going to hit add to home screen. And then it gives you the ability to edit that. So I'm just going to call this inspections. You can call yours whatever you want. And I can't spell. Okay, and there's the link below. Don't change that because that's the link that's going to open it up properly. I'm going to click add. Okay, and you'll see what it's done is it's created a little button at the very bottom on my home screen called inspections. So I can click on that, and every time I click on that, it's going to launch that form for me automatically. So yeah, you'll get to it immediately. And again, it's just like every other app on your device. You can move it around to your front page or whatever else. So nice and easy. Okay, one more thing I want to quickly mention before we jump into the database is there's the one issue that I am having on the mobile device is the really big drop down menus, or just dealing with drop down menus to start with. So like we're in the renewal site and I click choose. Like this is going to pull up a list of every site in our database, which right now is like 350. And if you try to put your finger over the box to hover, it won't scroll, sorry. So when you're scrolling on your phone, you always have to scroll outside of that box. What I mean by that is just take your finger either to the right or the left of this to scroll up and down. And I'm going to try to figure out a way that I can limit the number of choices based on the location, but right now that's not ready to go. So unfortunately, if you do have one at the very bottom, then you're just going to have to scroll all the way to the bottom, and it takes about 3 seconds. I know it's not the most efficient thing in the process, most efficient thing in the world, but I think for the most part it's fairly straightforward. So you're just going to click on that and then go the rest of the way. So just anytime you're dealing with these drop down menus, always scroll either to the right or the left of it. Don't try to scroll inside of the box, otherwise it won't let you. So hopefully that's going to make it a little bit more efficient for you. And once I figure out how I can sort the choices based on location, I'll let you know. Okay, so now that I've got you guys set up on the mobile, I'm just going to show off the form. What happens when you submit an inspection, whether it's a new or renewed. I'm going to demo this on the PC just because it's a little bit easier for presentation purposes. And then talk about kind of what happens after the fact while at the same time showing off the database. So Right off the bat, we'll just fill one of these out. I'm going to choose Red Deer Public, and this is important because you'll see later on in the database that I sort all the sites by location, and it's dependent upon this particular field. Okay, so it's okay if you're Red Deer Public and you're choosing an Innisfail site. Just make sure that the location of that site is in fact the correct one. So I'm going to switch this back to Red Deer just because I've got one that I'm planning on using. Okay, and we'll just choose a renewal, and I'm going to choose myself as the inspector. If you've got an inspector that is not on that list, please let me know so I can get them added. So under renewal sites, I'm going to click on this, and like I said before, this is a list of all of them. Okay, so on the computer, okay, when you choose this, you can actually start typing. So let's say H, and you can see it's taking you straight to the H's. On the mobile phone, you can't because it doesn't open up your keyboard by default. So it's kind of a pain in the butt right now, but I'm working around it. But really quick, hotkeys do work on the computer. So I'll just do S. There you go, and it's taking me directly to the S's. Now I'm choosing the A&W on Leva Avenue. Okay, and I'm just going to fill this form out as if it's a good site. Actually, I'm going to change this because I just used this actually previously. So let's say I'm going to go with, where's the Red Deer? Okay, American Eagle, perfect. Okay, this is all good. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Hit next. Here's the approved, not approved. Now before I submit this, I want to show you what's happening in the background. So I'm going to go into the little database here, and you'll all have a link to this, so you'll be able to see it. So this inspections tab is where all of the new stuff is going to come in, and really imagine that there's no new information in here. These two are the two that I've just been kind of demoing. Everything below this I've just put in there so that it's feeding the database with all of those previous locations. Okay, so again, you guys aren't going to spend any time in here, but just so you get an idea as to what's happening. Then what I've done is I've created each of the locations where those sites might be hosted. Okay, so I'm going to go to Red Deer, and I want to look up American Eagle. So there's American Eagle right there, and you can see that the last inspection date was on 7/2/2016. Okay, now I've just filled this out for American Eagle. I'm going to hit submit. If I come back into here, take a look at this tab right here, or this cell, and it should only take a second or so. And there you go. It's now being updated because we just completed an inspection for it. So again, this database is going to stay completely up to date, and you can always just quickly glance at it. So for example, if you're Gino over at Red Deer Catholic and you're like, I need to get a kid in at Cam Clark Ford, come to Red Deer because you know that's in Red Deer, check when the last one was, and you can see that that's clearly within a year, so we're good to go. No inspection is required. Okay, so it's just a nice, quick and easy reference guide. Now at the same time, that new one has come in, it's right here, and there's going to be an email receipt that also gets sent, which takes, approximately 2 to 3 minutes. So you can see that in a second here, it's going to populate this, and it's also assigning a specific case number to it. So I'm not going to make you guys wait. I'm going to pause this quickly until that shows up and come right back to it. Okay, no need to pause. You can see it's now come in, okay, and created an email. So I'm just going to quickly go over to my email and show you guys what it looks like. So here it is. It sent me an email saying Red Deer Public School District Offsite Inspection Renewal, and then log 353. And so, if you ever review this and you figure out that you've made a mistake, just contact me and give me this number, because then it's a lot easier for me to find that specific entry inside of the database and update it. But basically, it just gives you a copy of all of the fields that you've submitted, including the date. So, if you don't get an email within about 5 minutes, then, or let's say an hour at the absolute most, then send me a quick email and I'll check into it. But you should be receiving this automatically. Okay, so I think that's it. The big one here is these are the inspectors that each of the jurisdictions have provided me with. Again, it's important that you select yourself when you're filling out the form, your email address, because that also acts as your electronic signature. But also, if you don't select the correct one, then you're not going to get a receipt of your completed inspection, just so you can double check to make sure that it's good to go. You guys have access to this entire database. You can view. You shouldn't be able to edit other than you should be able to edit this page, which will allow you to, again, anybody from Chinook's Edge can come in and put in an email address right here, and that will automatically feed the form and will make it a selectable field when you're filling it out. So, and again, this probably applies to Chinook's Edge more than it does to Red Deer Catholic. If we need some additional locations here, then cities, towns, whatever, then let me know. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate. I really think just start using it, and we'll just troubleshoot any errors that we might have along the way. But I truly think that this is really going to help you guys be more efficient and reduce the amount of duplicate inspections that our 3 jurisdictions are doing to support our kids. So thanks a lot. A little long-winded. Appreciate you guys sticking around and looking at it. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate. Have a great day.